first 6 months of 2020, where we all faced the COVID-19 pandemic, ang sales growth po ng e-commerce dito sa Pilipinas has already doubled in terms of number of buyers and the peso value of purchases. And the e-commerce market is likely to continue growing in the future with the projected sales of $12 billion pagdating ng 2025. So imagine you being a part of that growth just because you signed up with this online selling marketplace like Lazada and opened up an online store. So in today's video, I'm going to start the Lazada Beginner's Guide series. I'm going to share to you what are the things and the step that we need to do in our first 60 days with the Lazada platform. I hope that this series will help you build your online store, guide you where your online store is going, and I will also be providing you actionable steps to take to get you there. Hello everyone, yung Mama Betchay here and welcome back to my channel. If you want to know how you can be successful in your online selling, I give tips, best practices, tutorials, and other interesting things in my channel. So please consider subscribing and click the bell notification to see my newly posted videos. So before we start, our first topic today sa ating series, please take note that this is not Lazada sponsored. So hindi po ako binayaran ng Lazada to do the series. So I hope that you appreciate the series by liking or putting that thumbs up in this video because the development of creating this series takes hours of my time. And alam naman po natin na costly po ito if you get your resource outside YouTube. For more information and if you want to get more education about how you can be successful in the Lazada platform, please visit Lazada University in your Lazada Seller Center. So if you're watching today, let us look muna at the prerequisites or yung mga requirements natin before you start watching this video. Because I assume na kaya ka nanood sa ating video na ito, nag-sign up ka na po sa Lazada platform. Kung hindi ka naman nag-sign up, nagpaplano ka pa lang mag-sign up sa Lazada or magbenta sa Lazada platform. Okay? So, una, you should have the products to sell. Okay? Dahil on hand po ang selling sa Lazada website. Kung Dropify ka or dropshipping, bilis benta, or any dropshipping company na tied up naman sa Lazada platform, welcome ka din naman po manood sa video na ito because this can also help you sa iyong dropshipping business. Pangalawa, yung have submitted the requirements. So, ano yung mga requirements sa Lazada? Nabanggit ko na po yan on how to open an online store with Lazada. And isa doon is you need to upload yung ID. Okay? I-sign up nyo, i-upload nyo yan sa Lazada Seller Center. And of course, yung bank information. So, ano yung mga bank information natin? Of course, yung bank info. Bank account name, bank account number, and a copy a picture nung ATM, kahit front lamang po, yan po yung bank document na hinihingi po ng Lazada. Pangatlo, you should have filled up the membership form po ng Lazada OMSMC. So ano yung OMSMC? Ito po ang Lazada Co-op or OMSMC, which stands for Online Microseller Marketing Cooperative. So applicable po ito kung ikaw ay individual, wala pang business permits like DTI or BIR. So, and please make sure that you signed up your membership form, join the Facebook group, or visit their website. Nandun po yung mga link for the forms. Okay? Kung corporate ka, then make sure na na-upload nyo na po yung mga documents nyo rin dyan for corporate requirements. Pang-apat is you should have a scheduled PMS or yung pre-membership seminar. So, ano yung pre-membership seminar? Ito pa requirement ng CDA or yung Cooperative Development Authority na kung saan under po yung Lazada OMS-MC. So, pag-uusapan po doon lahat ng mga detalye, yung kung ano yung Lazada OMS-MC. Okay? So, bakit ko nasabi yan? I would like to stress out those prerequisites na binanggit ko kanina lang because in doing so, in ensuring na-fulfill na po natin yung mga prerequisites natin na yun, you can put more focus in building your store in the first 60 days. Okay? Because ang first 60 days po per experience is very vital for the success of your online store. Okay? Because these are the times that you can either you make it or you break it. Okay? Ayan. So what to do in your first 60 days with the Lazada platform? Ang e-commerce po dito sa Pilipinas is expanding and it is a fact naman po, no, binanggit ko naman na yan sa aking mga video that the competition is high especially during this pandemic. So, hindi po katulad dati, yung takbo po ng bentahan sa Lazada or kung anumang platform ay ibang-iba na po compared nung mga around 2015, 2016, 2017 na kung saan dati ipopost mo lang yan sa store mo and people would come in buy your products. So dahil nga po sa dami na ng nagbebenta online, of course, and if you want to ensure that your store get a piece of that ever expanding e-commerce pie ka nga, you have to do your research, you have to think strategically, you have to plan your objectives and execute. And let us not also forget that you have to set your own goals para sa store mo. Okay? So, ano yung approach natin sa ating first week sa ating Lazada store? So our first approach, of course, our week one approach, we have to focus on the branding of your store and design. Branding and design, I'm going to discuss a little bit kung bakit. So let us all step back muna because I know you're all excited to post your products, but our first topic in this video and this series is all about branding. Okay? I'm going to tell you why because it doesn't really matter what you're selling online. If you want to succeed, you need to grab your ideal customer's attention and show them why your online store is the place they want to do business. Sa dami ng stores na nagbebenta ng same products mo, bakit sa store mo sila dapat bumili? Okay? And one of the best ways to do that is e-commerce branding. So dito natin ipapasok yung branding. E-commerce branding is a must if you want to succeed in today's competitive e-commerce space. Pero paano exactly are you going to do that? So alam niyo pa inyong Mama Betchay, sa totoo lang, the other night, natulog ako ng mga 12 a.m. na, no? Parang piniga po yung utak ko talaga with this topic because I know na ang e-commerce branding is usually done by corporate or mga big brands, no? And I know as well that pag sinabi nating e-commerce branding, 'di ba? It can be intimidating at first. And nasabi ko na kaya piniga because sa totoo po lang, ang course po ng e-commerce branding alone will take you 3 weeks to finish. So sabi ko, dahil sa series na ito, and ito yung first topic natin, first video natin sa Lazada Beginner's Guide series, sabi ko, paano ko kaya masasummarize in a way na may makukuha kayong valuable information on what are you going to do with your store kapag e-commerce or store branding na ang usapan. So I decided I actually came up with giving you the early stage instead of preparing your store brand. Okay, so ito yung early stage of preparing your brand because I know it can be intimidating. And by the end of this video, ay sana ay may mapulot po kayong valuable information and you can start doing this with your store. So I came up with three early stage of preparing your store brand. And these are the following. Number one, the heart of your brand. Number two, brand messaging. And number three is brand identity. So let's talk about the first stage muna of preparing your store brand. Okay, because I know that you already have your store name, you have the category or you have the type of products that you would want to sell with the Lazada platform. So ano nga ba yung heart of brand? Dito po natin ipapasok ano nga ba yung mission mo sa store mo? Ano yung vision mo sa store mo? Does your brand has value? Because online selling ngayon sa Philippine e-commerce landscape, people or yung consumer natin want to do business with brands, of course, that align with the consumer's mission and values as well. So as a seller, please take the time to define your brand's mission and value so it can help align with your consumers uh, or with your target audience. Okay, so ano yung purpose ng brand mo? Kung nagbebenta ka ng swimwear line niche, katulad po nung na-launch natin, no, 3 months ago, katulad ng Peachy Queen. So, ano yung purpose ng store na to? Ano yung mission na to? Ano yung value na binibigay ng brand na to? Okay? So, and then let's move on to the brand messaging. Kapag sinabi nating brand messaging, eto po yung voice ng brand mo. Ano yung personality ng brand mo? Ano yung tagline? Ano yung pillars ng brand messaging mo? Katulad po ng SM. Okay, gawin na nating example yung SM, 'di ba? Kapag sinabi nating SM, ano yung tagline ng SM? 'Di ba? Here at SM, we've got it all for you. O ayan, napakanta yung Mama Betchay nyo, 'di ba? We've got it all for you. Yun ang tagline, right? So yun yung unique positioning niya sa market. So pag sinabi nating unique positioning, how do you differentiate your store from your competition? Okay? Kapag brand personality, katulad lang yan ng kung ang brand mo ay isang tao, anong klase ng personality meron yung store mo. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating brand voice, kung ang brand mo naman ay tao, paano siya magka-communicate sa mga consumer mo. Right? Okay? So, balikan natin example natin si SM, 'di ba? We've got it all for you. So, yung brand messaging niya, it communicates to people that when you go to SM, kahit ano mabibili mo sa SM. From clothing to grocery items, no, to uh, mga gadgets, to appliances, 'di ba? So here at SM, we've got it all for you. Yun po yung brand messaging niya. Okay? Now let's move on to our brand identity. Okay, etong brand identity sa e-commerce branding is very important as well. Why? Because ang brand identity po, it is what makes your store instantly recognizable to your customers, no? So your audience or your customer will associate your brand identity with your product or service, right? And pag sinabi nating brand identity, ito yung nagko-connect ng store mo at sa customer mo. Okay? So kapag may brand identity tayo, it also builds customer loyalty and will determine as well what your customers will perceive your brand. Okay? So kapag sinabi nating brand identity, dito natin ipapasok yung logo, yung color mo, yung typography ng store mo online, right? So kapag sinabi nating brand identity, of course, katulad ng SM, there's a reason bakit color blue yung logo nila. And another example is Coca-Cola, right? Ang Coca-Cola, there's also a reason bakit kulay red ang logo nila. Okay? And then typography, ito yung mga ah yung font, 'di ba? Kita nyo may pina-follow sila ng font. Kapag may mga branding material sila, may sarili silang font, 'di ba? Ah, hindi sila basta-basta gumagamit lang ng iba-ibang font. Yung font type. So, for their branding materials. Yan po yung example ng typography. Another example po is yung color. No? Yung color. Sinabi ko kanina, bakit color red ang Coca-Cola? Bakit color blue si SM? Bakit color blue si Facebook? Right? Those example. May mga color siya because meron yang psychological ties sa different colors and in using this branding colors and logo colors. So strategic din yan because ang color po has also a serious impact of how your brand is perceived by your audience. So let me talk about itong power of colors. Okay, so let's talk about the typography. Now that you understand yung early stage ng branding natin, let me discuss a little bit about the power of colors, right? And why is this important that we put that the colors or yung color theme sa ating store online. Okay? So the power of colors, according to study, no, colors trigger emotional changes sa ating mga visitors or yung mga pumupunta sa ating store page or sa ating Lazada store, and that also equates increasing conversions. Okay, pag sabi increasing conversions, of course, it will convert to revenue or to sale. Okay, so hindi ko na pahabain yung topic ng power of colors, but we are going to tackle yung Roy G. Biv na color like red, orange, yellow, green, and so on, and its equivalent association kung bakit kailangan natin piliin yung mga kulay na yan. Okay? So here are what the colors of the rainbow can do to help your brand identity. Okay? So let's start with red. Okay, bakit red? Si Coca-Cola, let's go sa ating example red. Red triggers action. Okay? Kung napapansin nyo, yung mga buy now buttons, right? Mga buy now or 99, everything 99, 99% sale, 50% sale. Nagtataka ba kayo or hindi ba kayo nagtataka kung bakit red yung font nun or yung red ng color nun? Okay, because ang red, it triggers action. It's the color of passion and excitement. Ang kulay red is a perfect choice. If your brand identity is loud, it's youthful, it's exciting, 'di ba? So yung mga 99 only, mga sale, 50% off, 'di ba? Kulay red siya because the trigger they need is to buy from the store rather than yung mga sale na mga bright, mga urgent, 'di ba? Pero ang red kasi is, since sinasabi nga kanina, it triggers action, it is actually telling our viewers to act now. Okay? Orange. Orange, it's another high energy color, and it's also great to use if you want to appear friendly and playful sa store mo. Right? So it also, the color orange will also make you stand out. So let's move on to yellow. Ang yellow naman po is the color of sunshine, right? It's all about happiness. So kapag color yellow, it has a cheerful vibe, which makes it like a good choice if you want to feel fun, affordable, accessible. So yun po yung yellow. Okay? Kapag green naman po, ang green, it's a very versatile color because it can be used just about any brand. Although we have seen a lot of stores using green, if they think of two things like money or nature, right? Kapag sinabi ng mga eco-friendly products, you will see the color green. So nakatied po yung color green to those things, and green is also a perfect choice. Okay? Then let's move on to blue. Blue. Ang blue po na color, ito yung universally, it's very appealing color, sa color spectrum. Because with blue kasi, it can help your branding appear or look more stable and trustworthy. If you are looking to appeal to a wide demographic and get the trust in your process, then go with blue. Kasi yung blue, parang pinaka-safe na color yan eh. Kung mapababae ka man, mapapalalaki ka man, or kung anong gender ka man, universal ang color blue. Okay, then let's go to purple. Ang purple naman po, it's the color of royalty. So if you're going for a store that's more luxurious feel in your branding, ang color purple po is a safe bet. Okay? And then pink. Ang pink. When we say pink, culturally, it's tied to femininity, right? Pagiging babae. So, walang right, walang wrong. But culturally, pag sinabi natin color pink, nakatied po siya sa pagiging feminine. So, if your brand is targeting towards women, then pink should be a definite contender for your brand color. Okay? Pink is also a great color for brands with a soft or luxurious identity. Okay, and then we are moving on to our last two colors. Brown is perhaps the least used color in all of branding, but the color brown can actually work to your advantage because anything you do something different, ang brown po helps you stand out. Okay? Ang brown naman, if you are targeting your store brand as like masculine or rugged, ayan. So, perfect po yung brown color as a typography sa iyong store, sa branding ng store mo. Okay? And then last one, the black. So if you want to be viewed as modern, sophisticated. Of course, there's nothing as classic and effective as black. So makikita niyo yung ibang brands na gumagamit ng black. It can also be applied sa anything masculine, ay mga coat and tie, no? Kung nakikita niyo yung usually mga theme nila, mga black because their target is modern, sophisticated. Their target is usually men. But black color can also be universal when it comes to typography or color ng inyong store. So, let me just share how I applied my e-commerce branding dito sa store na nilaunch ko 3 months ago, yung Peachy Queen. Okay? So, I will show you the website or yung Lazada page, sorry, nung Peachy Queen. And tell you how I applied the early stage of e-commerce branding dito sa store na to. Okay, so just give me a moment here. I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, so this is the store and you can see that ito po ay nasa interface ng PC because I'm using a desktop right now. And kung nakita nyo po, I applied my store logo, my font, right? And I also applied here yung brand identity na diniscuss ko kanina lang. And of course, yung part ng aking brand and the brand messaging. Okay? So, what is the mission of this store? So, an example, of course, the mission here is to provide a wide range of mix and match swimwear to Filipinos regardless of their size. So that is the mission of this store as an example. So this is a niche store, so this is a swimwear line. And kapag ipinasok naman natin yung basic na sinabi ko when it comes to the brand identity, ito yung logo, yung color, yung typography. Ayan. So dahil most of my target audience or yung target customer ko dito, mga babae, mga mommies, right? So, I went for a more subtle na color. Ayan. So, may pagka peach po siya. It's near, may pagka peach in between ng pink and also ng old rose. So, that is the brand typography or yung brand identity na dinaskas ko lamang, yan po yung in-apply ko dito sa store na to. Okay? So, hindi ko na pahabain ang video na to. Let me end the topic today because as I said, ang e-commerce branding po can feel complicated. But now that you know exactly how to build the early stage of branding your store, all that's left to do is, of course, get out there and get branding. Go get a pen and paper, pag-isipan nyo na yung branding nyo, the brand color of your store, because in our next video, I'm going to continue our week 1 with Lazada with the topic naman store design. So I'm going to do a Canva tutorial on how you can do your store design from scratch. So I will teach you how to create your banners, your logos, your product creatives, your background. Okay? Now, before we go, nakalimutan ko palang i-share. Sa sinabi ko last video, no, na sa dami-dami nga ng swimsuit, bakit dito sila kay Peachy Queen bibili? So, dito natin in-apply yung e-commerce branding in which you should be doing sa first week ng inyong store. Okay? So, sinabi ko yan, i-share ko na lamang din uli ang store, no? I-share ko na lang uli. Nakalimutan ko kasi. Ayan. Okay? So, bakit sila kailangan dito sa akin bumili? And if you notice, nag-up po yung followers natin 209 with 89% positive seller ratings. So, sa dami ng bumibili ng swimsuits, bakit kailangan sila? Bakit sa store ko sila bumibili? Right? Because if you're going to compare it sa other stores, okay, this is actually the impact of having an e-commerce branding. Okay? Let's say swimsuit, search natin yan, yung mga ibang store na nagbebenta ng swimsuits, right? So, ang dami pong lumalabas, if you notice, and ang daming nagbebenta po ng swimsuits. Okay, so puntahan natin itong isa sa search result na nagbebenta ng swimsuit din, no? Puntahan natin tong store na to. And if you notice, ayan, napaka-bare po ng kanyang shop. Okay? So, compared to Peachy Queen, na it looks, na natin si Peachy Queen ulit. Okay. Ayan. Okay. So, do you see the difference of a shop na merong na in-applyan ng e-commerce branding, right? Versus sa wala. Okay? So that is just example, the advantage of doing e-commerce branding kahit micro-seller ka pa lang or kahit maliit ka pa lang na store dito sa Lazada platform. Okay, so let me just stop my screen right now. Ayan. So you see, ilang minutes na tayo. Matagal na tayo, ang tagal ng ating first video, no? Ang tagal ng ating week 1 and nasa branding pa lang po tayo. Ayan, so you already know what to do. I do hope that you already have a e-commerce branding in mind and may apply nyo po yung itong lesson natin for today. And again, gagawa tayo ng Canva tutorial in our next video because our next topic is store design naman. Okay, boring ba yung ating first video? I know that it can be a bit boring, but kung pinahaba pa natin to, mas lalo po kayong mabobore because sinabi ko nga po, e-commerce branding really will take you 3 weeks. It's a 3-week course if you're going to take it um, online or in any school if you wanted to take the e-commerce branding. 3 weeks po talaga yung course na yan. So, before we end of this video, let me just tell you about the point of difference. So, establishing your point of difference or yung POD. With endless array of e-commerce shops and more shops launching every day, your customers have more options than ever. And so, one of the biggest challenge of branding your store is finding a way to really stand out. And that's where your point of difference or yung POD na sinasabi ko comes in. So yung point of difference is like a special sauce ng store nyo. It's what sets you apart and convinces your customers that they should buy from you instead of your competitors. Right? And it should be infused into every part of your branding. Okay? So don't forget to thumbs up this video, ha. I will see you next time. This is your Mama Betchay. Thank you for watching. Bye!